Hey gamers, it's me! I didn't have time, well, we didn't have time to do, Toy Story 2 this week. So, this instead. Syncope's off doing whatever, so it's just me. It's just your boy, Rockcock64. Now, as some of you might be wondering from the video title, Rockcock64, why don't you do video game review videos anymore? I like when you say the funny things about video games and then there's a fart noise. Well, it's pretty simple actually. I just don't have the time to do those anymore. Our videos, they were like, 10-minute long crazy fests, and a lot of people don't seem to understand that 10-minute videos don't take 10 minutes to produce. That's not how it works. We actually have to put a lot of time into those videos. Like, I guess I should explain what goes into them. Like, for the most part, from the beginning. For the most part, there's two ways this videos start. We either the primary method that we use for a lot of our videos, we review the game without having played it. That would often... What was that used in? That was used in Mass Effect 3, because come on, none of us are going to buy Mass Effect 3. And probably a few other ones. Metal Gear Solid 5, it didn't work as well in Metal Gear Solid 5. Well, Metal Gear Solid 5 was kind of a mix of that, and we also played just Ground Zeroes, which isn't Metal Gear Solid 5. So that video ended up being kind of bad, because it wasn't about Metal Gear Solid 5 at all, and there was a whole bunch of shit we could have done about Metal Gear Solid 5 that would have been funny. Yeah, in hindsight, I regret that review. We should have done it differently. If it had came out before Metal Gear Solid 5, it probably would have been just fine, but wasn't the case. Oh well. I'm getting off topic. Yeah, so the first method we would use is to review a game without having played it. That doesn't take too long to do. What we would do, we would scour the web for various, opinions and things that people have said about the game, various problems people have presented, go to places like, Reddit, 4chan, Twitter, etc., and just collect all the stuff people have said about the game, all the complaints they had, and from there we would, that would be the video. We would use all that in our video. The second method, oh gosh, Diddy Kong, no. Our second method was to actually play the games ourselves. Obviously, this would, well, one, we would have to spend money to buy the game, unless you want to, scour the internet and get a million viruses. Oh, there's no bonus here like in the real game. And then, we would also have to go ahead and put the time into actually playing the game. Depending on the game, that could take anywhere up to a week, really. Like, for a more expansive game like Fallout 4, yeah, it would take about a week. For a game like Dead Island, which is a lot more shallow, that would take like a day or two. After that, we have our angles sorted out, then we actually have to go ahead and write the review. It's not like we just start talking into the mic and then, the funnies come out. We actually have to figure out what we're going to say. So that takes a lot of, sometimes it's one person really coming up with stuff and then, presenting it to everyone. Other times it's kind of oh, that was my bad. That was embarrassing. So yeah, sometimes there's one person writing stuff and coming back to the group. Other times it's like a whole spitballing session of us figuring out what are funny things to say about the game, what are some good absurd views to have on the game that'll both be funny and upset stupid people. And that could take, a good day to really work out and have a good script ready. So after that's sorted, then we gotta go ahead and record it. We gotta go ahead and record the voice segments of the review. And it's not like a 10-minute review, is 10 minutes of voice recording. We go ahead, someone does a take of the whole script, and then we come back, present it to the other guys, and at that point, it's, the feedback. of how they think it could be improved. Like, I don't think you really said this line in with a good inflection that was funny, or I think you were too passive aggressive when you said that line. It comes off as really, really unfunny, or I think it would be funnier if you said this, or oh, let's change this one to sound more like this. What if we also had a part where we said this, and after that, we would do another take, and usually by the third or fourth take, then it's finally done. Then we finally have what we need. So that would take, an afternoon, maybe even more, depending on, if we have people around to critique it properly. So once that's all recorded, at that point, if this was a podcast, that would be it. It would be done, out the door, review ready. But it's not. We do a whole, video thing, and that all has to get edited together. And we're not like, IGN or GameSpot, where we're just talking for 3 or 5 minutes and then putting it over almost completely irrelevant gameplay footage. Like, that would take probably a day to edit. I'm sure it does for them. No, our videos are, big productions where we got, music and crazy visual effects and sometimes completely made up crap that we have to put a lot of effort into actually producing. And that'll take a while. But the very first step of that is to have a rough cut, just a base video to give to our editor. So I can't speak for the other guys, because I'm pretty sure they didn't do this, but for me, for my videos, I would go ahead and I would put a rough cut together. To do that, I would need gameplay footage. Now, if we went for the method where we played the game before reviewing it, then usually that's pretty easy. In my case, I would record myself playing the game, so when I actually go to put that rough cut footage together, I have plenty of video to pick from, so I can put that video together pretty easily. But, because the majority of our reviews were done from having not played the game... Well, that was a horrible shortcut, I just finished that level. But yeah, because the majority of our reviews were done having not played the game, we end up having to produce a video from zero footage from a game that we don't own. Now, for this, we would have to put together video that's already easily available, like... We would take game trailers and, game previews, stuff you would see at like E3 or Gamescom or that kind of nonsense. And obviously that's not enough footage, so we would also go ahead, and this is something we could only do for games that had already come out. We would find Let's Play videos that people have done really early, like, day one Let's Plays. And we would take some of their generic gameplay footage. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, Rock is pretty shitty, you're just taking other people's footage and putting in your review. Well, not really when you think about it. Like, these day one Let's Plays, these people are just playing the game in a very generic manner, like how anyone else would be playing it. We did this for... I know we did this... No, for a fact we did this for... well, I did this. This was for one of my own video reviews. I did this for Battlefield Hardline. But the things when we do this, we are only taking very generic footage that you can't really tell, one specific person produced this. It's not like we're going out and we're getting, like, speedrunning footage or unique strategy, unique glitch footage, unique, ways to play the game created by a single person. We would just get very, very generic video of people just playing the game the exact same way any other player would go in playing it. So you can't tell it was made by a specific person. It's hard to explain, but trust me, it's really not a big deal, honestly. So yeah, we would, take all that, and that's what we'd have to put into getting a rough video ready. Then, in my case, I would stitch together my rough video with the audio recording and all that footage I either got or obtained, and then I would hand it off to the editor. Our editor will go ahead and he would actually do all the magic that made the best gamer videos into best gamer videos. He would put in all the soundtrack, all the ridiculous sound effects, the crazy visual effects, the a lot of times the fake crazy footage and stuff that would actually, create the personality, the style that you would see in the best gamers videos. Like our editor is the person who pretty much gave the best gamers its personality, everything that people liked about it. So that whole process, it could take a week to edit one 10-minute video, because I'm sure if you've seen our videos, there's a lot of shit going on in them. It's not something that can be done quickly. So approximately a week to edit those videos to the higher quality style that y'all are used to. And then it can go up after all the usual YouTube nonsense thumbnails, update text, etc., etc. At the time we were doing website updates, I always thought that was kind of unnecessary. Just extra work that we didn't need to be doing, but, whatever. So at the end of the day, you add all that together, that's like about approximately 2 weeks, give or take, for one 10-minute long video review. That's a lot of time to put into a 10-minute video. And back in the day, when we were starting off and when we were, growing, we all had that kind of time. Like, I was just, I didn't have a job, I didn't have rent, I didn't have bills, I was just half-assing it in college, so I had plenty of time to spend on this sort of thing. I know our editor also had a lot of time. They didn't have too many responsibilities to deal with, so they had the time to put into the editing. But nowadays, that's not the case. I have a full-time job that I need to pay rent, and I barely make ends meet as it is. Like, I'm literally paycheck to paycheck, so I can't realistically take a week off to dedicate to doing a video review. It's just not possible. It's not possible for me. And our editors moved on to do bigger and funnier things, and they never really wanted to do video editing in the first place. Their passion lies in making games. So so that's just, it just ends up that it's just not really feasible to do it because I don't have the time. I do not have the time to do these reviews no more. Now some of you are probably saying, well, RockArc64, why don't you do a Patreon, and that way you can get the money so you don't have to have a full-time job, and you can spend your time doing video reviews again. Well, I've tried that before. I'm sure a lot of you remember in the past. I had an active Patreon. When was it? Sometime in the past 3 years, I think I had an active Patreon going, and I just simply was not making enough money to actually give me that time back. I was making a very small amount of money, and I mean, I had goals set up like, if I make X amount of money a month, I can just stick with a part-time job and dedicate the rest of my time to doing video reviews. But I didn't hit that. I didn't even come close to hitting that. So at the end of the day, I was getting money for nothing, really. A small amount of money, but still, it was pointless. It ended up being pointless. I did put out a small handful of reviews in that time period. Majority of them on this channel. I think maybe 1 or 2. Maybe just 1 on the Best Gamers channel, but it not nearly enough to justify the small amount of money. I say small amount, but not enough to justify that people were giving me money, and I wasn't making enough money to put out the amount of content I really wanted to. So at the end of the day, it was just, I wasn't making enough on Patreon to do it. That's just how it was. My fan base is just fan base. I hate calling my followers fans. They're just people who follow what I do. fan makes it sound like I'm some kind of big deal. I'm not. I'm just some guy who makes fart jokes about video games. So yeah, my follower base is just too small to support me. Like, there's just not enough people there to give me the kind of money that I would need to support myself off of the video reviews. And that's completely fine. It's completely understandable. It's not like I upset about that. I mean, I wouldn't give myself money to make fart jokes about video games, you know? It's just how it is. Like, nowadays, on my current videos, I'm getting, like, 600 views per each video. It's not a lot of people. When I was doing my video reviews, I'm not really sure what the numbers were. I haven't looked at them in a long time. I want to estimate around 2,000 views per video. I could be way off. I could be undercutting that, but I don't remember. I'll look into it later. But even that, comparatively, like, for a fan base, I said it again. For a follower base, that's a very small amount of people. So of course that's just not, there's not enough, it doesn't scale up. There's not enough people willing to give me money in that small fan base. So that's just how it is. It's just not profitable. It just wasn't profitable. And I know that sounds shitty. It's not profitable. Why should I do the reviews? But no, pay attention. I need time to do reviews. The only way I can get that time is if I had money, so I wouldn't have to go to a job. It's not about making bank off of it. It's about getting the time to do it. And unfortunately, time is literally money. That's just how it is. It's a stupid cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. It's true. Time is literally money. So since I have no time, that's pretty much the reason these Let's Play videos have been coming out. Let's Play videos are literally the most low-effort kind of video you could possibly do on YouTube outside of maybe, like, a video blog. Like, the time put in versus the time put out for a Let's Play video is almost 1-to-1. It's almost, 10 minutes of effort equals 10 minutes of footage. Like, these are extremely easy, extremely quick to do. So that's kind of why I do them, because this is the only thing I have time to do. It's pretty much either this or nothing at all. And I'm not really satisfied or proud of the videos, to be honest. They're absolutely not my best work. They are, like I said, very low effort. But they're low effort because it's all I have time to do. And honestly, the only reason I do them is because there are some people who for some reason really like to hear me babble. I don't get it, but there are people who for some reason just like to hear me talk, and I pretty much just do these videos for them. I'm not doing them for myself, really. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like to do them now. It was hard to do these alone. It was really hard to find the energy to do these alone. Now that I'm doing them with Syncope, they're a lot more fun. I have a lot of fun, hanging out and doing these with her, so I do have fun doing them in that regard. But as an actual piece of work, as an actual, product that I made, obviously not, oh god. No, it's not something I'm particularly happy with. Even though I have fun doing them, it's obviously not a kind of video I'm happy with. But it's, like I said, it's this or nothing. And that's why I pretty much just... Oh, God. So yeah, I pretty much just do these for people who for some reason really like to listen to me talk. And that's the only reason these come out. It's just all I got time for. So yeah, that's the long and short of it. I mean, that's just how it is. There's no time. Not enough hours in the day for me to do the video reviews. For me to be the funny boy. I'm sorry. I mean, believe me, I don't like it either. I like to do funny video reviews. It's not possible anymore for me. It's just absolutely not possible. I wish it was. It's not, though. I also wish I could do streams more often. I have fun doing streams and doing that, the small amount of interaction I got to do with my followers when I do streams. And, you know, I only get like 50 viewers per stream, but it's fun. It's fun to just chill out and, you know, just have that time to interact with people. You can't do the platforms in this version. Now you can't make the platforms with the spider in the Game Boy version. That's kind of disappointing. Yeah, but those are fun. I wouldn't mind doing those more often. And those do tend to actually bring me more donations. And the only reason I bring that up is because of what I already said. Time is literally money. It's not like I'm doing this to get rich. I'm just doing it because I like to. I like it. I like to make fart jokes about video games. This game's pretty hard with such a zoomed in screen. I think they could have benefited from shrinking the sprites a lot more. But it's too late to criticize the video game. It's already here. They already did it. There's an O up there. I'm gonna finish up this level. I'm gonna wrap up this stage. No anything allowed past this point. Not even a DK barrel, because I said so. I got the letter N, and that's all you're gonna get. Good job, everyone. Great work. Excuse me, I need this cannonball, please. Thank you. I'm gonna jump on an alligator. Uh-oh, I don't trust this guy. I don't trust him. I need to put this in a cannonball. There we go. Oh yeah, I figured it out. I'm gonna rip all their arms off. That's kind of brutal, actually. Alright, here we go. You can get bent. You can get bent. You can die forever. Just get out of here. Oh yeah, I got so many you can't tell what kind of coin it is because of how few colors it has. Alright, almost through here. These alligators are a bunch of jokesters. These alligators are a laugh and a half. I did it. Everyone's so proud of me. Oh, that was your B-side video for the week. I hope you liked it. I don't know what I'm going to do on Thursday. I haven't thought about it. I didn't give it any thought. My hands are falling asleep from the way I'm holding this controller. That's kind of weird. It's pretty messed up. I don't like that one bit. Not even a little.